arguing again, arguing about something so simple. Make it clear, tell me why you're running back to him. Feeling insecure, feeling like there's more to your care.
I didn't want to do a soggy intro to my weekly vlog, but here we are. It's raining, if you can't tell. Just a little cherry on top of the jail vibes today, where when all of a sudden the sun went away, it like got significantly darker inside because there's a lot of natural light that usually comes into the building. Got darker outside, big boom of thunder, and then the heavens just opened their arms. And yeah, it's a stormy one out there, and I think the roads are starting to get a little floody too. So I'm on my way to go pick up Zach. I also parked far away from the building because I was running late this morning, and so all the spots were taken, and so I am soggy.
You would finally know that you don't have to be somebody new.
Even just from right here, you can tell how gloomy it is outside, I feel like. But I gotta talk quick because there's water boiling on the stove. But if you are new, hi, my name is Anna and I'm a mental health clinician. I just graduated with my Master of Social Work and I'm currently working at a jail for incarcerated adolescents, aka juvie, if you want to call it that. The drive home was treacherous. It started downpouring even more so than it was whenever I walked, but I made it, and that's what counts.
If you let me shine, you like to put somebody else's happiness before your own. I see the weight of Atlas on your shoulder, weighs a ton. I'm trying to be the ball and light and energy for you to grow. You see, you're just a flower who has never seen the sun. You're stronger than you know. There's power in your bones, the flowers that you've grown. No water by your tears.
I always say that I'm gonna get better at vlogging on Mondays, and I'm never good at vlogging on Mondays. I don't know why, because I don't seem like I'm overwhelmed by that point in the week, but never good at it. So little like recap of yesterday's work day. I think I mentioned this in my previous weekend vlog if I remember correctly, but not super in depth. But yesterday I had what we call a screening, which is essentially, I guess, like the equivalent of catching time when you're a juvenile, because when it's juvenile it's very different than adult, but a juvenile equivalent of catching time. Then they have a little meeting essentially with a committee that determines their placement, because the goal is obviously to have a kid in the least restrictive placement that will still keep them and others safe around them, you know. And so there are various like network of group home type places around Georgia that kids can apply to and get sent to if they qualify for it. Or sometimes a kid can so-called catch time, but if they're still on their like second or third chance, or like if they're young or something, they can catch their time and then go back out into the community and be on some sort of probation. And then obviously like if they violate, then that's different type of thing going on. But they could do community, they can have different placements, and the placements like have different specializations. So some are directed towards like substance abuse, some are directed towards independent living, some are, you know, just like various things like that. Or if they have restrictive custody, then that means they're going to be in a facility for their restrictive custody time. So technically where I am isn't where kids serve time, but sometimes just with like transfers taking a long time or beds being full, they do end up staying longer, like when they're actually serving their time versus just waiting for it. And so yesterday we had one of those meetings, and for this one there wasn't really a question of where the kid was going to go, because the court specifically said that they were going to have restrictive custody, meaning that they were going to have to be in the facility for a certain number of months, and then after that different things can happen, but it wasn't really up in the air for the one yesterday. Sometimes though it is, like sometimes it really is like, okay, we're going to get someone from every department, get the kid, get the parent in this room, and kind of just discuss like what's going to be best for the kid. And so then as social workers, it's oftentimes advocating for the kid, and I always make sure like I just have good things to say about them, because in the mental health setting typically it's like this kid has been super engaged, has been super cooperative, has been respectful, has been driven to receive treatment, has lots of goals, is goal oriented, etc. And then like we can talk about like, oh, and we're working on using healthier coping skills, we're working on affect regulation, we're working on good decision making, like things like that. So I always try to reflect the kid in a pretty positive light, because then it's like other people's job, other people's lane, like I stay in my lane, it's other people's lane to talk more like if they've gotten into any disciplinary infractions, anything like that. So that was yesterday. Today is a short day for me, so I don't really know what it'll entail. I'm going to try to see some kids. I don't know if I'll be able to, but we'll see. I'll try to. The goal is to, and I get off at 1, and so I'll see you then.
So you finally running far away from your history, but there's clouds over your head every time, and they keep following you with no clue of what to do.
Check out this little setup. I got my roses that I got for myself at Whole Foods on Sunday. They were $5.19, and I think they 17 spray stem roses. I don't really know what spray stem means, but sounds good. And then I got my cheese and crackers for snacks, so I'm really feeling like a distinguished lady right now. And then I got my huge Cholula in a, what are these called? A cozy. I guess that kind of takes away from the distinguished woman. But good day at work today. Like I said, it was my short day, and to be quite honest, I didn't really do anything. Like, I really did not. And the fun thing about being a paid employee like this is that, like, I don't have to. I think it's funny how whenever I was interning for free, I felt the most need to do the most out of all of my hours there. I don't know if it was like I felt like I owed them or something. Whereas now it's like there can be slow days and that's okay. But I did think that my caseload might get halved today just because there was a chance that 2 of them wouldn't be there anymore, and it did not. So I still have 4 on my caseload. And since the 1st is the end of this week, it's on Friday, July 1st is the end of this week, I'm gonna spend some time this week planning out my calendar for the upcoming month, both in work schedule and then also in when I'm going to plan to see kids. So all of my kids that I see, like I said, I have 4, and I see them all bi-weekly. Now that means like official counseling session I check on them every time that I'm in the facility and just like chat a little bit. So I see them, I guess like lowercase s, see them every time I'm there. But as far as actual full-on sessions goes, every other week. And then what's fun is that the mental health department that I'm a part of is going to be a part of the like positive behavior events, essentially, where it's like kids can earn their ways into special events. And we're doing the one for the month of July. So we're planning a field day. By we, I mean they were planning it before I got there, and I haven't really helped all that much yet, but I will become more help as it gets closer, so that's just kind of fun thinking towards the future. And this upcoming weekend is going to be my first weekend working, so that's another thing to look forward to coming up into the future. I'm gonna go work out in a little bit. Whenever I got home, it was probably like an hour and a half ago. No, honestly, probably like an hour and 15 ago that I got home. It took me a long time to get home because I got stuck at a railroad crossing, which has not happened to me here before. I like honestly didn't really know that trains just randomly went through Atlanta, but they do. And I got stuck at a railroad crossing, and it was a 10-minute long train. I got home a little bit later than I was counting on, and then when I got home, I changed into comfy clothes and laid on my floor and napped. I guess was needed. I just didn't know that it was needed until that very moment. I do want to touch just briefly on the overturning of Roe versus Wade, just because, like I've mentioned, these videos are in the process of, like, I'm getting closer and closer to real time, but a lot of my videos have been pre-filmed lately, just in that, like, I film them and then it's, like, at least a week, sometimes 2, before they actually publish. And so, like I said, in my past weekend vlog, I really hope that something has changed where it is not the exact situation that it is right now, but since I am not an educator for reproductive health care at all, that's why I'm not speaking on it too much more. My heart is hurting, and I feel like sometimes whenever creating content, people will say like, I want this content to be just like a break. And while I do hope that you can feel refreshed and revitalized and, you know, like can enjoy the videos that I make, I want you to know that like this has been a part of my week, obviously, as it probably has been a part of your week, the one that you're living right now, not when you're watching this. And so I just want you to know that I feel you, I'm with you. Scary time for us all. That being said, I'm gonna finish my little cheese and crackers and go work out pretty soon.
Know your girl like you know me. Let's run away together, go live by the sea. Yeah. I know a place and it's pretty far away where we can leave tomorrow and be there by Saturday. Well, it is pretty simple, but that is all we need. We would.
I forgot to wear deodorant to work today, which is embarrassing to say the least, but I really didn't have a problem. Like, I wasn't sweating or anything because it is the Arctic in the office that I work in. However, now that I am out and about, it's a little bit different. Okay, I'm almost home though. Zach wasn't quite ready yet, and so I stopped. Well, first I stopped to get gas because I really needed that, and then I stopped at Dollar Tree because everything in here is $1.25, which I know that it was a big deal whenever they raised it to $1.25 instead of just $1, but it still amazes me. I got a little car smell good because it's been a while since I got one like that. And so I feel like it's 100% just gonna like melt and cause me a problem. But until we reach that point, I will smell good. And then I got 2 little beef jerky packets because for me and Zach. And then I also got some dishes because they have like glass dishware. You can see my face turning redder as I'm sitting here. They have like glass dishware that I've really liked. And I got 2 plates from there before, and then one of them disappeared like 2 weeks after I got it. I still to this day don't know where my glass plate is. But I got 2 plates before, and this time I just got 2 like cereal bowls and a mug and 2 small plates because they were out of the big ones. And so I feel pretty good about that purchase personally. I'm gonna go see if Zach is ready to get picked up. We'll find out. Today was a good day at work. I forget if you can hear me when I talk as I drive. It's been a really long time since I've done it. I promise I'm being safe. Don't do it if you're not gonna be safe. It was a good day at work. We had our meeting, our weekly meeting that I always talk about every week, where, like I think I liked the way that I phrased it best last week when I said that it's a village, and so our meeting just makes sure that the whole village is on the same page. That's what our meeting is. And I saw 2 kids, and it was kind of both of their first time sessions. Like, it was one for sure first time session, and then one, oh, I'm about to leave a right. I'm doing a right turn only and I want to go left. I'm gonna have to catch up with you later. We're good, I figured out my turn. But it was kind of both their initial sessions. One was for sure, the other one I'd done an assessment on him before, or did an additional assessment on him before. So like, it didn't quite feel like the first one, but it technically was the first counseling session. So that was good, and I was glad to get both those done because today's the last day of the month. So today was the last day that I had to do them. So I definitely had to do them. And so I did that, and I spent kind of the rest of the day passing out bucks. So we've kind of talked about that before, where they just have like different positive behavior incentives that they can get. And so part of that is like, when they do right, act right, then we reward them with bucks. And so I just make sure to always give all of my kids bucks. There's a few kids on my radar that I just make sure to always give bucks as I can. And so honestly, the writing them all out and cutting them all out, because they're like physical fake money essentially, takes some time, especially whenever scissors are contraband. So we have these like janky plastic scissors that we were able to get approved to come in, and so it takes a very long time. But I got all of my documentation in, had some extra documentation that I got done, so it felt like a good day, to be honest. Like, I felt like I got a lot done, and I won't be back at this facility for a real day until next Wednesday, and today's Thursday. I will be there on the 4th of July, which is a Monday, but it's not like a real day, it's holiday coverage, because I'm a holiday coverage gal now. Remember whenever I did that for the first time? That'll be me again. And so yeah, that means that tomorrow I have off, which is exciting, and I'll keep it in this vlog because it's still part of the work week of my 29-hour work week, except I will, remember, be working my second job. I just have not started yet. So I'm enjoying the 29 hours while I can, and yeah, just overall a good day. I feel like this is going back to that one week in the life that actually released today, but my first like true week in the life video of social work, whenever the heat wave was happening and I was just dying every single day. That's what I feel like today. And so I'm making myself a little concoction that I feel like is going to be refreshing and cool me off. I did a sparkling water, a strawberry flavored sparkling water. I put ice in there, which honestly is already melted a whole lot, so I'm going to do more. And then I'm going to put just like a little bit of frozen fruit, like strawberries. And then I did a little bit of lemonade. And so I imagine this is gonna heal my soul. I got my dishes, so just to show you what the Dollar Tree dishes are like. Cereal bowls, I'm gonna wash them obviously before using them. And then I already have a cup like this that I didn't even know was from Dollar Tree, but it's identical, so I'm assuming it was too. But there's my haul. I spent $10 at Dollar Tree because I got all of that, 2 beef jerkies, 1 air freshener. That was it. Okay, refresh time before I pass away.
Kiss our skin as we run hand in hand.
I feel like I've been on the go way too much lately, but today is the day off, so happy day off. But that does not change the fact that we will be on the go because I have a lot to do on this one day off of this week. And I just dropped Zach off at work because he has to go into work today, and then I'm headed to Starbucks. I'm actually at Starbucks right now, but I got here a little bit before my mobile order is going to be ready, and so that's why I'm starting the vlog now. Have a few seconds, but this morning I have a lot to pack into the morning, but I think that I have to do it this way in order to get everything done. Do you remember, I think it was last week's vlog, whenever I mentioned my headlight being out and how I'm driving around town looking like a doofus because I only have one headlight in? I'm gonna go to O'Reilly's today. That's a promise. I'm gonna go to O'Reilly's today and get, honestly, probably just both headlights replaced, because if one just went out and the other one's probably like on its way too, or at least getting both fixed right now just prolongs me having to do it again sooner. But working backwards, before doing that, I want to have money to tip the guys who I'm hoping will change my headlights for me. And so I'm gonna stop by Target after I get my store bucks and look to see if they have any pillows, because that was my other errand that I mentioned last week that I never actually did. My pillow, I'll show you it later. It's kind of embarrassing. Well, actually, so my pillow died a while ago, but I traded it with one of Zach's pillow that honestly hasn't been too uncomfortable, but it looks kind of embarrassing and it definitely could be a lot better. And so Starbucks Target, O'Reilly's, and then the catch of it all is that I have to make it home by before 10 o'clock because I have a brand call at 10 o'clock, and right now it is like 7:57. That's all that's going into the morning. Oh god.
On hold and we'll grow old like two leather bags.
I got a dirty chai. I went extra with it because it was my free drink, which I love. I love Starbucks free drinks. But so I got a chai tea latte, oat milk with a shot of blonde espresso, sorry I said that, espresso, and a pump of brown sugar syrup, and a pump of toasted vanilla syrup. So sweeter than I thought it was going to be. I did tone down the chai a little bit, but I guess that's not necessarily toning down the sweetness. It is good though. I like dirty chais. Target time.
Bummed because O'Reilly's has never let me down before, and to be fair, today they didn't necessarily let me down. I did get my headlights and I got 2 of them, but they weren't able to help me change them just because I guess I don't technically count as easy access. Like some people, you have to take like their whole bumper off to get to their headlight. It's not the same in my car. You just have to like unscrew 2 screws, and there's like this little like plastic flap thing that comes off, and then you can easy access. But the fact that it wasn't just you could pop the hood and then it was just easy access, they couldn't help me. So that's on my adventure list for today, hopefully. I don't think we have a screwdriver though, and so I need to find someone who has a screwdriver. If any of y'all have a screwdriver and want to help me change my light, by the time you watch this video, it's probably still not going to be done, so hit me up. No, I'm going to try to get it done today though, because I watched a YouTube video and I looked up and it says that you should wear gloves when you do it because if you touch your skin to the light, it'll make it burn out quicker. So I feel like an expert, but I really was hoping that they would just be able to do it for me. Also, Target didn't have any good looking pillows at all, so I also don't know where to get pillows. Oh, I'll show you what I've been sleeping on. This. Can you guess where my head was last night? Yeah, so other than the Starbucks, it was kind of fails all around, but that's okay. And I still have about an hour until my brand calls, so I think I'm just gonna sit down, plan some videos, schedule some things, watch some YouTube myself. I think I mentioned it already, but I just haven't felt like inspired to do sit down videos as much recently, but I'm trying to get the inspiration or to like find something that I want to talk about. I just realized I don't have the like invite or calendar invite for my brand call that I have in 20 minutes. And I feel like I remember seeing myself get it, or like I remember getting it, but I think maybe what it was that she sent an email that said like calendar invite sent. So in my head it was like, oh, I have the calendar invite, and really I don't think it ever came through. So I mean, I guess good thing I checked before it actually was 10 a.m. But also I don't really know what to do now. It is 3 minutes till my call and I still don't have the link, which I get isn't my fault, but I keep feeling like, oh, well, I should have noticed and let them know sooner, but it's fine. They did just forget to add me to the calendar invite, but I did get it, had the call, and big things coming. Also check out my cereal in my new cereal bowl. It's with chocolate milk because we're out of vanilla, but I do not hate it. You may remember a few vlogs back, I was getting my LMSW application ready, and I mentioned that I still had a few things to do. So I have not yet sent it in yet because those few things are not yet totally done. But what I did just do is sent Fordham my like request for an official transcript to be sent to the Georgia board, which means that I need to get on actually sending my application so that my transcript doesn't just get there and they're like, what is this? And so I have everything together, or like a plan for everything together. The only thing is my second reference, the first one never got back to, like, so I need 2. One of them signed, sealed, delivered. She sent it to me, so it's just going with the application. And then I need 2, so the second position, the first person I reached out to just like didn't get back to me because she has a lot going on, so that's okay, understood. Reached out to another person, and I'm pretty sure she did it and sent it in herself, but I'm like not positive of that. So my plan is to send in my application this way, and if she sent it to them already, then it should be good to go. But if I like get a thing back that's like, we need a second recommendation for you, then I'll figure that out as it comes. But everything else is good to go. So I have, this is like the checklist. So I'm gonna put everything in order because I do need to send a money order with them. They have, I think it's $110 processing fee, application fee, but I'm just gonna get the money order at the post office when I go send it. So little checklist, might as well just do it. Notarized application, that is what I'm getting ready to go. It's gonna go with my fee that we're getting at the post office. Perfect. Exam scores, that's not applicable to me yet because I have to take the exam and I have to get it approved before I can take the exam, so don't have to do anything like that yet. An official college transcript is getting sent to them, so got that. I have never been licensed before, so I don't have to send them like any kind of previous license information, and then it requires 2 references, and so that's why I'm sending one of them and the other one will get sent by itself. I don't need to send background information because I don't have like anything that needs further explanation, like no like criminal history or documents or anything like that. And says do not send them back the instruction pages, so I won't do that. But as far as the actual application goes, oh my gosh, exciting. I got page 3, 4, 5, 1 reference. And it's gonna go in this little mailer from the UPS. And I'm not gonna see a little boy yet because it needs... Should I put like a note in there that says like transcript on its way? No, I'll just let them tell me if something's wrong, I guess. I don't know. But the money order's gonna have to go in here. I will make out this little mailer and then go to USPS. Big things. And the goal is for all that to happen today. So today is the day. I'd backed really nice into this parking spot that I'm in, not thinking that I'd have to leave again, but so I could like put my headlight in well, and now it's pouring rain and I'm leaving again. So fail on both sides, on all fronts. But I have my application right here, and like I said, I'm gonna go get the money order, and then I'm bringing some stamps just because I don't know how many posts like this need, so I figure I'll just ask, and then if I have the right amount of stamps, I'll just stamp it and put it in the mailbox, or they can like do that part for me. We'll figure it out. And then I also need to get a screwdriver while I'm out. I think I'm just gonna go to Kroger and see if they have one for the headlight that you keep hearing about. I really hope it stops raining because I really had it in my head that we were gonna do it today. And Zach's bringing gloves because remember how I saw online that if you touch a headlight glass with your fingers, it makes it burn out quicker. So gloves are being brought. My application has been sent, and I'm not even gonna lie to you, I was at my wit's end for a second there. I reached a low point in Kroger, just like mood wise, but I came to this post office location and it was 23 minutes past when they were supposed to be open again after their lunch break, and they were not open, which is kind of a thing that I've run into a lot with this post office location. Maybe I just should have gone in the morning for peace of mind, but after their lunch break it's really unreliable of if it'll open back up or not. And so I came and they weren't open, so I was like, well, I guess I'll just go to Kroger and get my screwdriver. And I was just thinking like, can I come tomorrow? Like, no, it's closed Saturday. I was looking within like a 10-mile radius of post office of like who was gonna be open. I don't know, it was just like discouraging because I was like, I need to get my money order and I need to send it, and I'm like, I'm ready to, I'm excited to. And I went to Kroger and they have money services there too, but it's been closed the past like 2 months that I've gone because I've tried to get my money order from there too, and it was closed again. And I did ask one of the employees, like, you know when this is open, because it's just like their guest services, like their customer service. And they're like, honestly, I haven't seen it open since I've worked here. So I was like, oh, great, sounds good. Went to Kroger, found the exact spot that the screwdriver that I would need to replace my headlight would be, and it was entirely empty. They had like precision screwdrivers, but not actual screwdrivers to remove a piece of my car so I could replace the headlights. So I was not feeling happy. I was not feeling great. I did get almond milk, 2 kombuchas, and chocolate cake. So that was a goal to help me. Was all of that. But as I was in Kroger, did not have my hopes up, but I just decided to check. I was like, I'm just gonna see if the post office has opened up. And I came and the door was unlocked and there was a long line of people inside because the door was unlocked, but the thing was still closed. But people were just like waiting for, I guess, whenever they would open up. But that was different because before the door had been locked. So I was like, okay, someone had to come here to unlock this door. So I stood in the long line. I was like 8 people back. I ended up getting cut by an elderly woman. So I just, let it happen. The first window I went to couldn't get the money order, but then the second window I went to could. I just feel like there were so many like things that did not go smoothly. For example, like I was gonna pay in cash, but I could only pay half in cash and half on card because she didn't have like change to give me. A lot went on, but the important announcement is that my application has been sent to the Georgia Board of Social Work, and I think everything will get there in time by the August board meeting, which was like kind of my goal. My original goal was the July board meeting, but that just like was not gonna happen for real. So I think by the August board meeting, like I think it's the first week of August, they'll go over my application and theoretically I should get approved at that time. If there's any kind of delay with my transcript or my second reference, it could be the September one, but I feel like a big step has been reached here and I have my tracking number. So now that my application is in place, I feel like I can kind of start thinking more about actually studying for the exam, because the exam, I have no idea when I'll take it yet, but it'll be eventually. And people keep asking like what I'm doing to study, and I haven't done anything yet, but that'll be my next task going forward, is to start looking at what I'm gonna do to study, how I'm gonna study, when I'm gonna study, all of that. But I wanted to share my news that my application has been sent and it took some work to get it there. Okay, chocolate cake, my application is sent in. I was really worried this vlog was gonna end on a lower energy note like last week's vlog did, but it did not, because I'm one step closer to being an LMSW, which is really exciting. So thanks for watching this video. As a little reward for sticking around to the end, I'll let you know. So today, Friday, was my off day, right? Because I'm starting to work weekends. But there's a little twist to me working weekends in that I'm going back to the facility that I interned at tomorrow. And I'll just leave it at that. See you next time.